The traditional educational model that puts students in situations where they receive a lecture, memorize information, and regurgitate it back on an assessment is not a strategy that provides them with deep learning connections and lifelong learning stimulation. Instead, this lesson is designed to take the content learned in class to a level where students become invested in the material and seek out more from it. Project-based learning will be used to do this in the classroom and establish a student-driven lesson while the teacher merely remains a facilitator. When you want to find something out, what do? You go to a computer, you get on the internet, you get a book. You don't go to an adult and have them feed you all the information. You have to learn to be a problem solver. You have to learn to be resourceful. So we teach them to be lifelong learners, and you have to keep them excited about the process of learning, according to Ellis in 2010. In applying this to the lesson, this takes learning to places that the traditional system of memorization and objective assessments can't go, which is into collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. This is a dynamic approach to the classroom that has reshaped the classroom environment by taking a 12th grade economics class that develops a business website that explains the who, what, and how of business that students learn about in class, and has the type of involvement in the educational process that leads to deeper comprehension while developing valuable learning experiences, which is important because learning does begin with that learner. The classroom is composed of 24 college preparatory seniors who are going to attend 93 colleges across 24 states. None of the students come from low-income households, and 76.9% are white, 4.1% black, 9% Hispanic, 3% Asian, and 6.9% multiracial or ethnic, according to our Illinois State report card. Nazareth Academy is a Catholic coeducational college preparatory high school serving families from 53 communities and 115 grade schools. Of Nazareth's senior class, the top quarter averaged a 30 on their ACT, and 15 students earned AP Scholar Awards in recognition of their exceptional achievement on AP exams. Because Nazareth is a college preparatory high school, its students have to test to be admitted, and the school does not provide accommodations to students unless the ACT accommodates the students as well. Standards aligned with these objectives fall under the English, language, arts, and literacy and history, social studies, science, and technical subject standards, and represent the next generation of K-12 learners designed to prepare all students for success in college, career, and life by the time they graduate high school. Some examples of these objectives include 100% of my students creating a website that has an exceptionally attractive and usable layout. It is easy to locate all important elements. They produce content with no errors, create a detailed description of who their target demographic is and how their business caters to that demographic, embed a map of their exact location, discuss how price, product, and placement will be to their advantage, outline concrete job qualifications to show who they look to hire for each position, embed a Google Calendar that highlights workers and shifts, showing thought in scheduling and consistency for 1 month, detailing a service or a good that is special or unique to their business, designing and creating a video or animated advertisement, writing a business description, creating a 3D design of the building that includes flooring, paint, indoor and outdoor amenities, and creating a logo that is unique to their business, following the design scheme and business plan. This lesson is a technology-infused project-based learning lesson. Upon sculpting this lesson, the teacher drives the class with a philosophy: tell me and I forget, show me and I remember, involve me and I understand. As they reach this point of experimentation and exploration, this lesson implements a plan, do, see manner, where students construct an activity for the purpose of a learning objective. As they venture deeper and deeper into the assignment, students transfer academic gains to life, see use in them in life, and develop thinking skills for learning. It will be implemented into this learning lesson because, according to him, for cognitive strategies to be learned, there must be a chance to practice developing new solutions to problems. To learn attitudes, the learner must be exposed to credible role model or persuasive arguments. In order to allow this to happen, traveling through his 9 steps is vital. First, the teacher will gain attention by providing entrepreneurial examples and stimulating entrepreneurial thought, followed by informing learners of the objectives. When expectations are understood, the teacher will stimulate recall of prior learning by reviewing terms with the class, followed by presenting the stimulus by showing students what they're capable of and taking them to the computer lab to provide learning guidance. Upon working in the lab, teachers will elicit performance and provide feedback, assessing performance, enhancing retention, and transferring it to relevant website building. The 8-day lesson plan is formulated from these steps so an authentic learning process can be created. Bruner's constructivist theory is also implemented because he believes that the learner selects and transforms information, constructs hypotheses, and makes decisions relying on a cognitive structure to do so. He says to instruct someone is not a matter of getting him to commit results to mind. Rather, it is to teach them to participate in the process that makes it possible to establish knowledge. We teach a subject not to produce little living libraries on a subject, but rather to get a student to think mathematically for himself, consider matters as a historian does, or to take the process of knowing and knowledge getting. Knowing is a process, not a product. The reason this was chosen is because students need to see that there is more to education than memorization. Here, they are using their decision-making skills and transforming concepts discussed in class into lifelong learning lessons. The first technology we're going to use is a simple list of links that direct students to Google Help sites if needed. The project is mainly a Google Drive project and will provide and include the usage of a MATLAB projector and Lenovo tablets if needed. The reason Google Drive is used is because students need to build in a controlled environment through their Google Apps for Education account and collaborate with their classmates. Google accounts will be used to create through Google Sites, edit through Google Drawings, embed through Google Maps, collect data through Google Forms, and word process through Google Docs. In order to collaborate, students will store all necessary materials in a Google folder and share it with the other group members. In order to create employee schedules, students have the option of using Google Sheets or Google Calendar. To take the project to a new level, students will be instructed to create an organic logo and are suggested to use Floor Planner 3D and Room Styler 3D to create three-dimensional business layouts from scratch and Google Gadgets to put interactive scripts into the website. Technologies that the teacher knows best are suggested in case troubleshooting needs to be done. In order to put together an advertisement, students have an option of iMovie and WeVideo, and then create Twitter and Facebook pages that also market their website in order to increase search engine optimization. Lastly, any picture manipulation can be done through Pixlr, Ribbit, or PicMonkey. If any students want to get fancy, they can add a favicon with a favicon generator. All apps are either pre-installed on the Mac computers or are available free via their Google Apps for Education accounts. One of the largest barriers to technology is the lack of technological preparation students have had. Students come to class knowing very little, so the teacher must facilitate the lesson for them to get the most out of it educationally, but also find a way to teach the technology. If schools have better technological training, educators may be off in their pursuit. The second barrier is that many students don't have technology to use in class or at home, limiting the educational ability. After completing their website, the class returns to the classroom and prepares for a presentation to a panel of 4 special judges. Students will be asked to enter the Shark Tank when coming into class, where the presentation will run much like the television show Shark Tank. The panel of judges will include 3 alumni in the business field and myself, whose job will be to vote on one business that we will become an investor in as a startup. Usually options are the general manager of the Marriott Hotels in Naperville, Illinois, account manager for Google Chicago, and a franchisee of Tropical Snow in Western Springs and Elmhurst, Illinois. After going through the basics, the panel gets asked deeper questions about the business, why they chose certain design elements and products. When all groups have presented, each person on the panel will choose one business to invest in if they see promise in the business plan. By focusing students on the project, the teacher puts students on a path that deepen their knowledge and build skills for the student's future while also building confidence and creativity. Give themselves a self-grade according to the rubrics. They justify their self-grade to see if they properly followed the tasks in front of them. The teacher evaluates the students on the same rubrics, and student self-efficacy is seen because the project has ways that they can meet standards or exceed standards according to the rubrics you see now. They're structuring the project this way. Students steer their own fate as they show what score they're going for. It should be evident right away to a teacher and student whether they are looking to achieve perfection or simply attempting to meet the standards expected within the project. When the teacher is done grading according to the rubric, students and the teacher can compare their versions so they can fully understand what they did well and where improvement needs to be made for next time. It is not solely about what students know, but what they do with what they know. Instead of simply learning information and preparing for a formal assessment, students are required and inspired to create, enjoy, and invest into the curriculum in order to find a deep understanding and show true comprehension. A refreshing approach to education, project-based learning, provides a lifelong learning outcome and a motivation to not only assess knowledge of content, but problem-solving, creativity, critical thinking, and teamwork. Although this style takes the teacher out of the driver's seat, they have the opportunity to teach students to drive themselves and implement these newly learned technologies and this content into their lives. As I believe is the goal of the SAMR model, this project has grown from substitution to redefinition. Although my students once did this project with pen and pencil on a poster board, Our students are now doing detailed interior design, creating Google Maps, graphic designing logos, and working on search engine optimization. Every change that has been made to this project is student-driven and has been a result of go-getters in class, proving the SAMR model is a very valuable asset to the classroom. This project has been redesigned, reimagined, and every semester it continues to impress because of it. At this point, the computer and website no longer exist as poster boards, but as an interactive design template for students to develop creativity and broadcast their learning. Collaboration, critical thinking, and comprehension are necessary to the lesson, and questions and discussion are organically generated by students.